Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to the people who are watching this video. I am Santosh Kumar Thakur from Sikkim Government B.Ed College, batch 2019-21. I am making this video for the purpose of external evaluation for English. Alright, so whoever are watching this, with the due respect to you all, I'm going to execute a lesson of English that is of class 8. Alright, so we will proceed now. Alright, so I will execute this lesson by giving credit to the students. Alright, so let me start. Students, I welcome you all to the English classes. We are in class 8 already, and today we will learn a lesson. All right, we will learn a lesson which is very interesting, which will yield you a very interesting topic, and you will learn a lot. All right, so hope you all are ready to learn. Now, students, tell me. I want your answers. All right. So, do you all know what is lottery? Lottery is something, isn't it? Lottery is something which we buy, isn't it? Which we buy a ticket, and we play to check our luck, isn't it? Now, what if Mr. X, all right? Mr. X buys a ticket of lottery, and he gets he gets to win of rupees 1 crore, and he'll be excited, isn't it? Of course he'll be excited, and with this excitement he will buy new things, just like luxury vehicles, houses, lands, plots. He will enjoy with his friends, isn't it? So same like the story of today's we will learn is similar to the lottery tickets. All right, and the topic's name is The Night We Won the Buick. All right, the night we won the Buick. Students, the night we won the Buick. Hope it is visible for you all. It was written by John Giggs. Alright, J-O-H and John, G-I-G-G-S. Alright, we will learn about John Giggs. Alright, now students, this is a story which was written by John Giggs since it was written many days ago, isn't it? So students, before wasting our time, let us do a pronunciation drill. All right, pronunciation drill. We'll do pronunciation drill, and we will also do word meaning drill, which will help you all to understand the chapter very well. All right, the different word meanings will come across the chapter, which will be difficult to understand the topic or the chapter. All right, to avoid that, we will learn pronunciation drill as well as word meaning. All right, so students, the very first word for you all is retort. R-E-T-O-R-T, retort. All right, and the meaning of it is angry reply. All right, retort means angry reply. All right, the next word we will learn is splayed. S-P-L-A-Y-E-D, splayed. Right, and splayed meaning is spread out and apart. Spread out and apart. S-P-R-E-A-D, spread out and apart. And the word is splayed, isn't it? Students, please note down what I'm explaining you all. All right, listen carefully and note it down. All right, I will give you time to write down. All right, the next word is Shetland pony. S-H-E-T-L-A-N-D-P-O-N-Y, Shetland pony. See, Shetland pony, I will show you a picture. What is a Shetland pony? Right now, Shetland pony meaning is a small hardly breed of horse. All right, it's a breed of horse. All right, now I will form a sentence for you all right? Now, a Shetland pony, right? Mr. Tanmay has a Shetland pony. That means Mr. Tanmay has a breed of horse which is Hardly, isn't it? This is Shetland pony, and the meaning is a small hardly breed of horse. All right, is that visible? All right, okay. The very next word we will learn is eyesore. All right, Eyesore, eyesore. And the eyesore meaning is a thing that is ugly. All right, a thing that is ugly. Eyesore means a thing that is ugly. I will form a sentence for you all. Let us see that the criminals have eyesore, isn't it? The criminals have eyesore. That means a criminal have eyesore mind, isn't it? The criminals have eyesore means the criminals have a mind of ugliness, isn't it? Now, the students, the very next word is we learn indigent. Indezent. Indigent. All right, and the meaning for it is poor. 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 All right. Indigent meaning is poor. Now, I will give you example. For example, who formed our constitution? Who wrote our constitution? Yes, it was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, isn't it? Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar wrote our constitution of India, isn't it? Now, I will form a sentence that Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar was indigent. Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar was indigent in his initial time. That is, he was poor in his initial time, isn't it? He worked very hard, he studied very hard, and achieved many things. Now, the very next word we will learn, students, is austerity. 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 And austerity meaning is simple. All right. Austerity means simple. Now, students, I will give example, or I will form a sentence that our father of the nation, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, was an austerity person. All right, he was an austerity person. That means he was a simple person, isn't it? He was a simple person. Now, students, the next word we will learn is mortgage. Mortaged. All right, mortgaged. Mortaged. All right, mortgaged, and the meaning is give property to someone to claim as security for payment of loan. You can read it out, students. Mortgage meaning this. All right, mortgage means this. All right, this will be helpful in your text learning today. All right, hope you all are understanding. Please pay attention, students. Now, the last word we will learn for the pronunciation drill and word meaning will be disruptible. Disruptible. D-I-S-R-U-D-I. See, I will place it down here. D-I-S-R-E-P-U-T-A-B-L-E-D. Disruptible. All right. The pronunciation is disruptible. All right. Disruptible, and the meaning is not considered to be respectable in character or appearances. Those things are disruptible. Those things are disruptible which do not have a good character in the society, isn't it? So, students, we learned different word meanings which will be helpful in the story of The Night We Won the Buick, written by John Giggs, isn't it? Now, students, quickly we will move forward to learn, that is, we will do loud reading by students. We will do I will do narration. I will do reading for you all, model reading. I will do model reading for you all, and since it's a video, it's not possible to do loud reading by students. I will do it for you all. All right, don't worry. and we will look towards book since I don't have book at the moment, but I do have the text in my computer. All right, I will show you all that and we will learn quickly. All right, let us begin. All right, students, The Night We Won the Buick by John Giggs. It's a picture of Buick. All right, Buick is a car. All right. Now, students, about the author, that is John Giggs, who have written the story The Night We Won the Buick. He was born on 15th April 1924 in Westminster and died on 31st December 2001 at the age of 77, isn't it? In London. All right. He was a British writer, historian, and politician. He is renamed for writing a 3-volume award-winning biography of the famous British statesman, that is David Lloyd George. All right. He was the editor of the newspaper that his father owned and later become a columnist. Columnist is a person who writes in a newspaper. All right. He writes a column. All right, or she writes the column in newspaper bulletin. All right, for Guardian of 10 years. All right. He also worked with the Times and occasionally wrote for the Spectators. He was also a good writer and a narrator as well, isn't it, students? See, this is a Shetland pony. Shetland pony here, it was a breed of horse, isn't it? Breed of horse. This horse can be said as Shetland pony. It has very small legs, isn't it? It has very small legs, and it can be used in various manner. Students, the very first paragraph for you all is, since it's a video, I will do loud reading as well as model reading for you both, for you all. All right. It was just before the Second World War. We were the only family in the New York town that didn't own a car. Our daily shopping trips were made in disrupted 2-wheeled basket cart drawn by an ancient Shetland pony that my mother had named Barkish after the character in David Copperfield, Bonnie. Barkish was comic Izor. Every club of his plaid hoops surrounded our poverty. Now, students, you can see the first paragraph, isn't it? So that says it was the time of Second World War, isn't it? The Second World War happened in 1939 to 1942, isn't it? 1939 to 1942, and it was the war scenario, and a family in New York was residing, isn't it? And here they used to go for shopping in a Shetland pony. A Shetland pony is a breed of horse, isn't it? Shetland pony, I showed you all the meaning, isn't it? A small, hardly breed of horse, isn't it? Now, another paragraph says, another line says that Bonnie Barkis was comic Izor, every club of his plaid hoops surrounded by poverty. Now, the poverty is playing a big role here, and Izor meaning is a thing that is ugly, isn't it? So, poverty is never handsome. Poverty is always an ugly, isn't it, students? Now we will quickly move towards the second paragraph that says, for poor we were, and this family was poor, isn't it? My father's salary as clerk wouldn't have maintained us in modest plenty had not half of it gone for the support of medical expenses of ill and indigent relatives, as it was our house was mortgaged to the hilt, and winter the grocer supplied our need and credit, isn't it? Now the narrator or the author is a boy, isn't it? Boy, and his father works as a clerk, isn't it? And it was difficult to maintain their house, isn't it? It was difficult to maintain their house as their relatives and other people who gets ill in their village, who used to come to their house and stay with them, isn't it? Staying with them makes and indigent relatives. Indigent here means, indigent we talked about poor, isn't it? So poor people came to have residence in their house as they stayed in the city, isn't it? The New York, and uh, their house was a mortgage. It was given mortgage meaning is I told you all no, give property to someone to claim as security for the payment of loan. So they had taken their home uh, as in replace of loan, isn't it? Their house was a mortgage, isn't it? So and groceries and other supplies were given to the people who used to reside in their house in the winter times, isn't it? So it was a festival time for the people who came from the village and stayed with them, isn't it? So we will quickly move forward towards the third paragraph that says, Mother comforted the family by saying, if you have character, you have the better part of wealth. Living on little develops inner resources and builds a spiritual bank. That means his mother was very intelligent person, and his mother was a very good person who used to think that character is the best wealth, isn't it? So that is quoted in the second line, that is, if you have character, you have the better part of wealth, isn't it? See, the narrator is a boy, and he used to get annoyed because their house was in mortgage, isn't it? And many people used to come in their house and stay in his rooms. So he was annoyed, isn't it? So he was annoyed, and he used to shout on his mother, saying that why these people come to in our house and they stays in our house, isn't it? But then his mother was a very kind and generous person who used to say that if you have a good character, that is the best wealth for you all, isn't it? But then the narrator used to deny her sayings, isn't it? The fourth paragraph, we'll learn only 5 paragraphs today, students. The fourth paragraph is, my bitter report was, you can't buy a car with it. See, my here is an author, isn't it? My bitter report was, you can't buy a car with it. That is his mother used to say that if you have a good character, it is the best part of your wealth. You have a best wealth, isn't it? But then this author used to say that a good character cannot buy a car, isn't it? So yet she succeeded in making austerity, and austerity meaning is simple, isn't it? She used to make it simple. Yet she succeeded in making austerity bearable in other respects. So she used to win this battle with conversation with her son, isn't it? Our home had a charm. Charm means attracting power, isn't it? Our home has had a charm. Mother knew the secret of using a few meters of bright chintz and a little paint in the right places. So his mother was very intelligent person, as she knew that what is important and when to do and what to do with the people and how to react in the society and how to reside in the society, which will makes a better impact, isn't it? Students, are you all getting it? Hope you all are getting it, students. If you have any query, you can leave in the comment box later on. All right, the next paragraph and the last paragraph we'll study today. Let us make it interesting. All right, the last paragraph is that suddenly there arrived a soul igniting moment, which was to consume my shame in a blaze of glory, isn't it? So here, ignition meaning delightful light, isn't it? So suddenly there arrived a soul ignition moment, which was to consume my shame in a blaze of glory. So after this, what happened? It is in dilemma, isn't it, students? We will learn that in the next class. Before leaving our class, we have many things to do. So students, till now, whatever we did, we will recapitulate. All right. So students, we learned about a family which was residing in New York City, isn't it? New York City. It was 1939 to 1942, the Second World War, isn't it? It was the Second World War scenario. All right. And this story belongs to New York City. All right. New York City. All right. London. All right. Now, students, it was a story of it is a story of a small town people, and they are very poor. They are very indigent people, isn't it? And the character name is see, John Giggs have written the story, and John Giggs is himself a narrator. All right. So he is a boy. All right, and his father works as a clerk, isn't it? His father works as a clerk. People in winters come to see guests, Guests. Guests used to come to their house and stay and have warm and comfort during the winters, isn't it? Winters, and for medical facilities also they used to come to their house. Their house was in mortgage, isn't it? Mortgaged. Mortgage means they have taken their house in loan, isn't it? So students, their house was taken into loans, and they didn't have any car. All right, they didn't have any car. They used to have Shetland pony, isn't it? Shetland pony. There was no car. Shetland. Shetland pony. Shetland pony is a breed of horse which has very small legs, isn't it? So they used to have a cart, isn't it? Cart of Shetland pony, through which, with the help of which they used to go to do marketing, isn't it? So the narrator used to get annoyed with her mother, that saying that why these people come to our house and why they stay here, they have a free food out here, why they come to here. And his mother used to students, are you all listening? Please listen carefully. Now, the mother used to tell that if you have a good character, isn't it? If you have a good character, you have the better part of wealth, isn't it? But the narrator, that is John Giggs, used to deny it. A good character doesn't buy a car, he says, isn't it? That means a good character cannot buy a car. So he was a very ambitious person, isn't it? John Giggs was a very ambitious person in a childhood, and he achieved many things later on, isn't it? So this was the conversation which happened till fifth paragraph. Students, we will learn the next paragraphs in the next class. All right, before leaving our class, I would like to give you some questions which you will do as your homework, isn't it? As your homework, since it's a video, I cannot evaluate all by throwing questions, all right, how well you have understood. But to evaluate you all, I'll give you homework. Please note it down in your home assignment copy, all right? So students, the very first question is, was the family poor or rich? Was the family poor or rich? How do you know? How do you know? You have to write, all right, you have to write answer of it, all right? And the next question is, you have to write that, what did they have to go market, isn't it? By which transport they go to market, right? Students, please write down and elaborate at least in 50 words, all right? At least here you have to write 80 words, all right? 50 words and 80 words. Students, do your homework, and we will see each other in the very next class. You all learn about the night we won the Buick, the very initial paragraph, that is 5 paragraphs written by John Giggs. This was done by Santosh Kumar Thakur of Sikkim Government B.Ed College, Soreng. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening and being a good listener and a spectator. Thank you very much.